Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're digging into 3 skills that could totally reshape your financial future. They're all based on the work of expert Dave Ramsey, and I'm telling you, one of them is probably not what you think.
All right, let's start with a feeling I think we've all had at some point, just being financially stuck. Maybe your income's low, you have zero savings, and the whole idea of building wealth feels, well, impossible. But what if the way forward is a lot simpler than we've all been told? It turns out this whole framework for financial fitness, it really just boils down to 3 core skills. That's it. And if you can get a handle on them, you can build a really solid foundation for wealth, no matter where you're starting from. Okay, so let's get into it. The first 2 skills, they're the ones you hear about constantly. They're the absolute bread and butter of personal finance. But really, truly understanding what they're for, that's the key to everything else. Think of these two as 2 sides of the same coin. On one hand, you've got spending. And that's not just about, buying stuff. It's the skill of using your money rationally and in a way that actually brings you joy. And then its partner, saving, is all about building a wall of security, a buffer between you and the craziness of life. But here's the thing, saving isn't just stashing away one giant, intimidating pile of money. It's actually a strategic plan with really clear goals. You're building an emergency fund. You're putting money aside for education, planning for retirement, and then, the really exciting part, you're investing to actively build your wealth. Okay, but this is where the usual advice stops, and things get really interesting. There's a 3rd skill. It's one that most of us would never ever think of as a financial tool, but it might just be the most powerful of them all. And that 3rd skill is giving. Now, we're all kind of conditioned to see giving as an expense, right? It's something you do only after you've already made it. But here's the radical idea. What if giving isn't the result of wealth, but is actually the thing that helps create it? So how in the world does that work? How does giving money away somehow make you wealthier? Well, to understand it, let's look at the personal story of Dave Ramsey himself, because it just perfectly explains the incredible psychology behind this. So Ramsey was super honest about his own skills. He basically said, look, I'm just plain bad at saving money. It doesn't come naturally to me. His default setting, like it is for a lot of us, was spending. But then he intentionally started practicing the skill of giving, and it kicked off this amazing chain reaction. He started small, but he found that, you know what? Giving actually felt good. And that good feeling created a powerful drive to do it even more. And here it is. This is where it all clicks. His desire to be more generous created this automatic, internal motivation to get good at the one thing he was bad at. Saving. All of a sudden, saving wasn't a chore. It had a new, bigger purpose to grow his wealth not just for himself, but so he could make a bigger difference through giving. So this all brings us to the final and most essential idea. Real, lasting financial health isn't about being a master at just one of these things. It's about finding a balance between all 3. And the source material really hammers this point home. If someone becomes a pro at earning and saving, but they never practice giving, they're at risk of being controlled by their money. They lose their balance, and that pursuit of wealth can just curdle into plain old greed. And this visual just lays it out perfectly. Think about it like physical fitness, right? You can't just work out your arms and expect to be truly healthy. Real financial fitness comes from exercising all 3 of these skills, spending, saving, and giving, together in harmony. So at the end of the day, these aren't just 3 separate things you do with your money. When you practice them together, they weave themselves into this single, powerful skill of financial fitness that's going to support you and strengthen you for your whole life. And that's really the big takeaway from all this. It totally challenges our assumptions about how wealth is built, and it leaves us with a pretty provocative question to think about. What if the key to unlocking your own financial potential isn't just about scrimping and saving more, but about starting to give? Could that actually be the best investment you ever make?